You don't have anything that was suspicious. No figures. No people that showed up late. Inexplicably, nothing.
No. These kids were gonna be like the next big thing had this had gone according to plan. I mean, for the most part, they're getting exposure, but they're not getting the credit, you know, that I think they are, that is, you know, owed to them. You know, if had they stayed alive, most of them, I guess, they would be reaping the benefits of what's going on right now.
That's true. That's true. In fact, that would be the ideal situation for them to enjoy the fruits of this. And
so that's what I said, because you know what I'm saying. Because I mean, I don't know anybody that wouldn't want to be on camera. You know, even the most shy and ugly people in the world, they want to be on camera. Sure, we see them on TV all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't see what the big deal was. There was no problem with them being filmed. People are filmed all the time at parties or wherever it is, you know. And
well, they have a right to their privacy. They have a right to their own lives.
Yeah, but you know, when you're at a party, there's nothing that's private. There is no privacy at parties.
Again, I think you may have a couple of civil suits from some parents that may contradict that, but that's not my concern and that's not my jurisdiction. We will end with this. We want to have a follow-up interview with you. We want to set up. Until this phone dies on her end, we are still tracking that down. We haven't got premiering, which again turns my stomach sick. But what? It's two Thursdays from now. I mean, at 8 or something.
Yes, sir. So yeah. Well, I mean, you know.
It's like Kathleen Turner at the end of that movie, Body Heat.
You know, another one of them older gentlemen mentioned Body Heat today when the man from Variety, that Army Archer fella, he called me about that. I said, Body Heat? What are you talking about? Body Heat? I haven't seen any picture before 1981. What's this Body 1991?
Well, that's your mistake, Paul.
Wait, you tell me about what is this Body Heat reference that he's making?
Kathleen Turner lured William Hurt into killing her husband. And he took the rap. Unbeknownst to him, she had made arrangements to leave the country. She wanted to live on a tropical island and did that under her yearbook picture. And that is exactly what happened. He is in prison. She is on a tropical island.
So you're saying that an actual crime was committed by this gentleman, and he went to jail for crimes that she had manipulated him into committing.
That is correct.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's very similar, except in this case, there actually was no crime. No one had actually died, even the boy that committed suicide.
Except for the fraud, of course.
Well, certainly is a fraud, and I'm not saying there ain't a crime.
And the victim.
Throw away the key. Oh, I could care less, but as long as I can film them throwing out the key, that's all I care about, so I can get my 10%. So I want you to consider the following. Even the boy that jumped off the building, you know, the black boy, the gentleman, the singer.
Oh, yes.
Even that corpse was fake. They had taken cadavers out of the lockers like slabs of meat from the deli, and they put them in that house out there, and they had that party. They had them literally downstairs in the basement on ice during the party. Then at the end of the party, they positioned them out throughout the house. They put them clothes on them that they're wearing, all those, you know, the girls with those tight little dresses, and those boys with those fancy shirts and suits and those ascots that they were wearing. And they put them on those things so they'd be found with their body and people would assume it was them. It was all a bunch of bullshit. They had thought this thing out for a year going forward. I don't know who the mastermind is, but someone is some evil genius in there because I don't know what, dying between homework and getting laid. I don't know how anyone thinks about that at 22 years old. But hey.
Diabolical.
It is
That's
diabolical.
the only word for it.
It's like Lex Luthor level diabolical. Damn. But I tell you, so I hear you.
It's humiliating, but also...
It's a bit intriguing, and the most intriguing thing about it, like I said, is season 2 and 3. If I get my hands on that filmmaker today, which about now I'm going to meet that boy, he gives me a solid lead. I'll get on that plane, I'll go see those kids, and not only will I get an acquisition of that footage in return for probably providing them with counsel for their defense, and perhaps in the intervening in some of the district attorney's negotiations for plea bargains, but I will get their rights. I'll bring the contracts down here with me. I got them all. I got my secretary right now drawing them up right now.
Pretending just for a moment that I'm a ordinary man and not a very rich, not so ordinary man.
So that is impossible for me to imagine. But continue. I will participate.
I would be strongly tempted to watch such a show, I think.
You would be tempted to see what occurred on the island.
I believe I would become hooked on such a show, and I would watch that show, I believe, every week.
That is a remarkable statement, considering that these individuals whom you would devote an hour of your prime-time viewing time to, that's remarkable to say that, because these people are responsible for you looking, and me looking like fools right now. But I'll tell you what, there's going to be some
I realize that, but that is the curious part of this whole story.
It is curious. Won't you? I am dying to hear out of the mouth of these babes, because that's what it is, out of the mouth of babes, the truth of how they came to this, what brought them to this. Why not just go get a goddamn job, meet a nice girl, settle down, get a house and a dog and a white picket fence? I mean, is that so wrong? I mean, what is it? What's all these kids wanting fame and fortune and wanting to be on the cover of People? And it's a disease. It's crazy. I mean, this whole business is crazy.
Moral vacuity. That's what it is.
They don't really, I mean, hey, I got the Bible in my hand right now. I'm telling you, I was reading scripture when you called.
I never read it myself.
I actually was thinking about getting the rights to that particular work, but then I heard it was a public domain, apparently, the Bible, because it was written by God. He doesn't
one problem at a time.
But you know that God's not even represented. You know that? It's amazing. I can't believe it. He doesn't even. You think he'd be with William Moss by now, but It's amazing they haven't gotten the mitts on him. So anyway, I know you got to go. So I was going to leave it at this. I'm going to go speak to this filmmaker. I'm going to get to the bottom of all this, and I'm going to come back at you. I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to disclose everything, and I'm going to bring back contracts signed from wherever these people are, and I'm going to bring them back for that second season. And I'm going to double your profits, and this thing's going to do, a new cycle. We're going to be shit out like, yesterday's chicken, I'll tell you. This thing will pass, but the profits won't. The profits are going to stay on the bottom line, and that's where they belong. So don't you worry enough or something. Go hit some ducks. Shoot me one of them ducks for you. And you rooting for Dale Earnhardt this weekend?
I'll be pretending those ducks are those young men and women.
If you pretend those ducks are those youngins, you're going to bag yourself 18 to 21 of those ducks. And
one of them will be you, too.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment, sir, but I will say this final thing. I heard Dale Earnhardt's got the poll this weekend. You rooting for Mr. Earnhardt? He's got Dale Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jr.'s got the pole this weekend, doesn't he? At the Brickyard. He's got the pole position.
Probably.
He does, right? I mean, is that who you're rooting for?
I do believe so, yes. I do believe.
I do believe he's got the pole. I do like him for that race. Could you spot me $100 if you do find a wagering gentleman down there? Put $100 on Dale.
I believe our connection is breaking up.
I believe our connection is breaking up too, and sir, I do appreciate you taking the time to call. I apologize for those reporters. If any of those reporters do call in the future, just refer them to my office, and I'll take all that away from you.
I will gladly do that. I will gladly do that, sir.
I'll check in with you later, sir. But guess what? We're looking at season 2, and you can exercise that option. Okay, we got season 2 coming up. All right,
I appreciate it, but you are very lucky. I'm not in the same room with you right now,
sir. If you were in the same room, I'd shake your hand, and I'd also put into your hand.
You would not have the chance.
Sir, enough said. I respectfully decline to respond to that because you should have the last word anyway.
I'm still in shock.
So I'm
fixing. But as I say, I am also intrigued.
Well, that is a contradiction in terms and a paradox that I myself feel.
It is known as what is that word I look for?
It's one of those fancy southern words, northern words, whatever.
Yeah,
hypocrite.
Probably starts with a C. Most words do.
Yeah, some consonant. But I'll tell you this, sir. I'm telling you this. I'm fixing to fix it right away. So you got the right man's on the job. You know that. You know I'm going to solve this problem, and I'm going to spin this. I'm going to talk to Nikki Fink and all those columnists. I'm going to set them straight. And I'm going to make sure everything looks good, and I want to keep your distance from it. I want to say the buck stops right here at this agency, and Mr. Brian and Comcast, NBC, Universal, and the whole conglomerate had no knowledge whatsoever, just like I had no knowledge whatsoever, of the fraudulent nature of the fiction that was created, purported, Blair Witch style, to be some reality show, when in fact, they were alive and well. All right, so you have a good time this weekend?
You are starting to ball.
I'll catch you later, sir. All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
You don't have anything that was suspicious, no figures, no people that showed up late, inexplicably, nothing.
No. These kids were going to be like the next big thing had this had gone according to plan. I mean, for the most part, they're getting exposure, but they're not getting the credit, that I think they are, that is, owed to them. If had they stayed alive, most of them, I guess, they would be reaping the benefits of what's going on right now.
That's true. That's true. In fact, that would be the ideal situation for them to enjoy the fruits of this And
so that's why I said it, because you know what I'm saying. Because I mean, I don't know anybody that wouldn't want to be on camera. You know, even the most shy and ugly people in the world, they want to be on camera. Shit, we see them on TV all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't see what the big deal was. There was no problem with them being filmed. People are filmed all the time at parties or wherever it is, you know. And
well, they have a right to their privacy. They have a right to their own lives.
Yeah, but you know, when you're at a party, there's nothing that's private. There is no privacy at parties.
Again, I think you may have a couple civil suits from some parents that may contradict that, but that's not my concern and that's not my jurisdiction. We will end with this. We want to have a follow-up interview with you. We want to set up. Until this phone dies on her end, we are still tracking that down. We haven't got premiering, which again turns my stomach sick. But what? It's two Thursdays from now. I mean, at 8 or something.
kids were going to be like the next big thing had this had gone according to plan. I mean, for the most part, they're getting exposure, but they're not getting the credit, you know, that I think they are, that is, you know, owed to them. You know, if had they stayed alive, most of them, I guess, they would be reaping the benefits of what's going on right now. The most shy and ugly people in the world, they might be on camera. Sure, we see them on TV all the time, you know what I'm saying? I don't see what the big deal was. There was no problem with them being filmed. People are filmed all the time at parties or wherever it is, you know, and
they're right to their own lives.
Yeah, but you know, when you're at a party, there's nothing that's private. There is no privacy at parties.
Bye.